Welcome back to the Theme Park Realm YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you a brand new update on the 10 looping roller coaster coming to Flamingo Land Resort in Yorkshire for the 2020 season. Now, obviously I did make a video about this ride a few months ago, but there's been a lot, going on the site since then. There's a lot of new updates sort of floating around the internet, so I wanted to do another video just with a bit of a construction update and just to sort of refresh everyone on some of the stats and some of the differences as well between this ride and obviously Colossus that we've already got at Thorpe Park. So for those of you that don't know, Flamingo Land Resort in Yorkshire are going to be installing a brand new roller coaster for the 2020 season. It is an Intamin 10 looping revision B model roller coaster. So it is very similar to Colossus at Thorpe Park, but this is a slightly sort of new model version of that roller coaster. So this ride is expected to open in 2020. We don't actually have an opening date yet from the park, but there has been plenty of construction updates, as I mentioned earlier. Now, what we do know about the ride so far is it's going to feature a height of 34 meters. The top speed of the coaster is going to be 52.8 miles per hour, which is actually almost 10 miles an hour more than what you would get on Colossus. The length in total is 875 meters. Obviously it's going to have 10 inversions, and it does have a maximum capacity of 1,200 riders per hour. However, from what we know so far, it is looking like this may only run on one train, so the capacity may be a little bit lower than what you'd get on Colossus, obviously, if that was on 2 trains. Now, this ride isn't a complete replica of Colossus. There are some key differences. So the first difference is the fact that the lift hill is actually a cable lift hill. Now, the difference obviously between this and Colossus does have a chain lift. The cable lift hill is much quieter and it's also faster as well. So that's probably one of the reasons why the ride actually reaches a higher top speed, is because it's actually going to be going over the lift hill at a much higher speed as well. So with the cable lift hill, the motor for that is actually normally placed directly below the top of the first drop of the roller coaster, and you can actually see that in the photos as well. You can see where the cable is going to return back down to the ground, and there's actually a building where the cable tensioner and the motor is going to be for that. Now, obviously, with the cable lift hills as well, because the actual mechanism is lighter than a chain, it does mean that it can go up the lift hill at a much faster pace. And as I've said earlier, the ride is faster than Colossus, and that will be one of the reasons why it is faster. Of course, the trains on this ride as well, we are very much expecting this to have lap bar trains. Of course, we haven't actually seen the trains at the moment, but the other sort of versions or examples of this ride around the world, the revision B model does have lap bar trains, so we are highly expecting this to have lap bar trains. I wouldn't be surprised if we did start seeing the trains very soon, sort of with the progress that we've seen on the track. But yeah, obviously once we've got some more evidence of that, we will be sure to post that on Facebook and on Twitter. Now, from what I've heard as well, there is some slight alterations to the profiling of the track as well in other areas, just to make it smoother, but to be honest with you, you're probably not really going to notice anything apart from the first drop. The fact it's got a cable lift hill, and of course if the train have lap bars, I'm sure you'll notice that as well. But yeah, it really does look like it's going to be a great ride. It's going to be a slightly different experience to Colossus as well. Hopefully it's going to be smoother. The lap bar trains are going to make it completely different as well. Obviously you're going to be completely sort of free if it does turn out to have that style of trains. Now, obviously, the latest sort of updates that we've got so far, a lot of the track has gone in sort of over the last week or so. So obviously the first lift hill went in, that was sort of topped off towards the end of the week. Then they built the sort of the main first drop, that all went into place. And actually the full station area, the lift hill, the first drop and the start of the loop are now all in place, as you can see in the photos on screen. Now, the actual photos that I've managed to find for this, they have actually come from a Facebook page called Flamingo Land Crazy. So if you do get a chance, go and check that Facebook page out, because they really do have, they've always got photos on there of updates for this ride. Not from like one person in particular, just loads of different people keep posting photos of it, so it's fantastic. The photos that I'm showing at the moment, the credit for these photos goes to Lee Jackson and also Sarah Blacker as well, so that's the credit. And as I say, go and check out that page. And just, give it a follow, and you'll get all of the latest updates on there as well. But yeah, so as I say, the first lift hill's gone in, the first drop's in, the start of that initial loop. There's also one of the final corkscrews that's gone in, and the turnaround section just before it goes into those final consecutive loops, that's also in place as well. So this ride, it's really progressing at a rapid pace now, and you know, certainly I wouldn't be surprised if the ride is actually completely finished, like in terms of sort of the track layout is completely finished within the next month or so, because it really is going now at quite some speed. I think that's, you know, one of the things with this, once they've got the foundations in and you know they've got all the track on site, it really does just fly together. Now a lot of people have been commenting on the actual colour of the track. So obviously on the planning application it is meant to be grey. I do believe it's going to be repainted once the whole track's been constructed. Obviously, to paint the track when it's on the ground would be an absolute nightmare, because you would have to, you know, you wouldn't be able to paint where the track was sitting on the ground. So you'd have to like lift the track up to paint that bit, but then you'd also have to paint the bit of the track where you've lifted it up from, and then you'd have to leave the track to dry before you could lift it up again, because otherwise the paint would come off. So I think that it will get painted grey, but I just think that they're going to do that once it's all been built, because that just seems like the most logical thing to do in my personal opinion. It's just going to be easier to paint it once it's all been built. But you never know, they might leave it the colour it is. I mean, the paint job on the track is absolutely fine. You know, it's in perfect condition. You know, it's just a matter of, you know, the planning application. Obviously the planning application mentions it's going to be grey, so I would have thought it would have to be grey, but you know, you never know, they might leave it as that colour, but I'm expecting that they will paint over it and make it grey once it's all been fully completed. But yeah, they're all the updates that we've got for you today. So as I say, once we've got some more updates over the next few weeks, we will be sure to update the channel as well as Facebook and on Twitter. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you did enjoy the video, and do hit the notification bell so that you do get notified when we upload any brand new videos to the channel. But yeah, that's been all for today, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.